Good morning. Good morning. We are on day 4 of this project, and today, I know I said this yesterday, but today is a big day. Big day today. I really feel like this tractor is coming apart. I did some work off camera this morning. I'll show you what that is in a minute. But while I had you under here, I thought we're going to start taking this thing apart. Now, not to worry, I actually have the rear end propped up on some dunnage, so we're not in a dangerous, particularly dangerous situation. I'm putting on gloves because it's really greasy under there. So there are 4 bolts on the underside that we're going to take off first. They're 1/2-inch bolts with 3/4-inch wrenching surfaces. I'm getting on my creeper. Try not to bang my head against anything. All right, so we have a bolt here, here, 2 here, and 2 here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we have these bolts too. I'm not sure what those bolts even do. They're going up into the oil pan housing. I don't see that they could be of any difficulty. I wonder if I should take those off too. Well, let's start with these big guys. Kind of a weird angle here. Let me see if I can get I put my little carriage right in maybe the wrong spot for. Oh wow, that's tight. All right, hold on. Got that one loose. That one doesn't seem like that one was very tight after all. Can't even. Nope, it wasn't. And I'm going to need to, I think, get a screwdriver in here to dig out. This is all that falling on the screen. I can't really tell. Hang on. Keeping a close eye on any movement in the parting surface, because I would like to not have this machine fall on my head. That would be bad. But like I said, I've got got a bunch of other big bolts holding this thing together. All right, now, so let's take one of those 9/16 bolts out and see what it looks like. Got to get the right socket. Don't go anywhere. I didn't mean to say they're 9/16 bolts. I meant to say those, they're probably, what is that going to be, 3/8 bolts with 9/16 wrenching heads on them. Let's take that out and see what that's about. This might be an oil pan bolt. Just occurred to me. That might be what this is. If this is a super long bolt, it's going to be for the oil pan. It sort of torqued like it was super long. Yeah, that's an oil pan bolt. Okay, we're going to leave those in. Good to know. You know that feeling you get when you undo a bolt and it kind of springs back? You just kind of have a feeling that it's a really long bolt. All right. All right. So, taking things a little bit out of sequence this morning. So we took out all the 1/2-inch bolts that were along the bottom of the oil pan. There were 4 of them, right? I count 4. So what we did off camera was I put some dunnage under the rear end of the tractor, and that last little bit, I actually had to jack up the rear end a little bit to get that last piece in there. So the rear support here is under a little bit of tension already. It's carrying a little bit of weight, and that's okay. The other thing I did this morning was cut a few of these wood blocks into a wedge shape to jam in there to keep the engine stable on, because that front axle is just a pivot. So I know that when these 2 pieces come apart, there is going to be some misalignment, that the front part is going to sink a little bit and it's going to cause some binding. So that's why I made my little dolly this way, so I could get under there and put some shims under there if need be, or make some adjustments. At least I think adjustments will be easy to do. So that's why we did it like that. So what's next? What's the last bit in taking this thing apart? And that is these big boys right here. This guy, and there's one down there, and then there's one behind this support that I got to come in with a socket from that other end. So let's get to those. And there's 6 of those, right? So we have 6 bolts to disconnect. So let's get to it. Now this top one, I already broke the torque on this one earlier this morning, so it doesn't have a ton of torque on it. And I'm not going to, this top one, I'm not going to pull it out all the way. I'm just going to loosen it a bit, because this is the easiest one to get at. And this is going to be the one that I'm going to use to sort of manage the alignment, if that makes any sense. Is this fun? And everything I do on this side, I'm going to have to do the same on the other side. That's a big old bolt. So let's thread this in a couple of threads. Okay, that's pretty good. It's sticking out about 1 inch. Now we're going to do this next one down. Now this is going to have some torque on it. I'm going to use my bar, my pipe, my persuasion device right here to break the torque. That's it. Wow. Did I get it? I did. Well, come on, there we go. Can you see that? Right there. Sign of movement. It's moving. All right, pause here. We're going to go do the other side. Don't go anywhere. Well, this is exciting. we have a little bit of movement. Let's get you in there so you can see a little bit better. See that? That's movement. So we have around a 1/4 inch gap on the bottom, and we have no gap still on the top. So what I'm going to do is try to take a little bit of air out of those front tires and see if I can't create a similar gap up top. Okay? All right. Here goes nothing. Okay. Boy, that's pretty good. Let's get you in here for a closer look. Look at that. Got a gap right here. That gap continues on to down here. Boy, it looks pretty even. Not bad. All right. So now I'm going to see about sticking a little pry bar in here, maybe right in here. This creates a nice wedge spot. We'll put a wedge in here and see if we can't get this thing moving. We're just going to give this a little movement. She's moving. Whoa, you see that? Definitely moving. Remember, I left those top bolts in to be kind of a Hail Mary, just in case. Yeah, we're definitely moving. Look at that. We got almost a 1/2 inch now. Oops, sorry, I put my finger right in front of the lens there. Look at that. So, big gap here. And look at that. I can even turn this bolt. Well, that doesn't mean much. We still may be on the pilot bearing, but I got to take these bolts out. Let me go get the bolt on the other side out. All right, she's moving. My little casters are holding up. I put my forklift back here. It lives over there, and I put it over here because I needed some space. I think I'm actually going to put the forklift back out there, back it out the door a little bit, so I can use a come along or a strap or something like that to pull this front end out. All right, you kind of get the idea here. Put you into a better spot. I've got my forklift over here, the tractor over here. Now the forklift is as far that way as it can go, and the door's still closed. Once this front end starts moving, I'm not going to have a lot of room to move the forklift. So I want to make sure it stays right there. And I'm going to block the tires. There we are. Yeah, this is perfectly safe. Let's get a look at our hoses. All of our stuff, everything looks good. I think we're definitely on the casters now. What do you think? We got a good couple inch gap now. Have a look. Big old gap. You can see the clutch now. See the clutch in its housing. All right. Are we still doing well here? Everything looks good. Is this hydraulic hose? Ooh, boy. That is a problem. So this hydraulic hose doesn't want to come through that fitting. Oh man, so we got to take the... What do I got to do here? Is that really jammed into there? Yeah, that is really jammed into there. So I think we're going to have to take off this side of the cab housing to make room for that hose, that hard line, because with that fitting on it, even with the fitting off of it, the hose end is enough to keep it from coming through. So let's take the tension off of this thing. There's quite a bit of tension on here. Wonder what'll happen if I just let it go. Wow, I really cranked on that, I guess. Okay, here we go. And then I'll release the tie down. Okay, well that wasn't so bad. Now it's got room to move, but I may have to bend it. That's not good. Well, let's see what we got to do here. Making huge progress. We're all looking good. Everything is looking good. Now, before we forget, I'm going to take off this water temperature sender. Oh man, coolant is going to start spewing out of there, isn't it? That's all right. Not going to worry too much about that. I got buckets. And we're back. So I've been having some problems with batteries and charging on this camera, so I'm not entirely certain how much of the last segment you missed. In any event, we've obviously achieved a level of separation here. So what I was hoping to catch now was the actual removal of the clutch. I have the clutch, have it kind of hanging from that bolt with an engine hoist, because I have no idea how heavy this clutch is. But there's 6 or 8 bolts around the perimeter of that clutch, and we're going to take it off and see what happens. Okay, that's coming off. Wow, this is a clumsy way of taking that off of there. Well, wow, okay, let me pull that out of there. That is a pretty heavy piece. I'd have struggled with that. I'm glad I put that on the hoist. Oh, now I got to get it around this hydraulic line. Come on, baby. I got hoses everywhere. There was still some material on there. Ooh! I got a feeling we shouldn't be doing it like that. Maybe I should get a C-clamp on this other side. So I've never messed with a clutch like this before, so I really don't know. Okay. Got both of those in one go. Now, these C-clamps are going to be under a lot of tension. Oh, it's not so bad, no. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought. Definitely going to need a couple C-clamps to put this sucker back together. I got to imagine there's a better way to do that. Well, yeah, I may have to resurface that. I wonder what the minimum thickness of this thing is. I'm going to have to look that up. There does seem to be a bit of, well, yeah, it's pretty thin. Looks thin. All right, well, that's going to be it for now. I have to order some new parts and send this stuff to a machine shop. So anyway, when I get my new parts in, we'll do another video. Until then, thanks for watching.